that it's okay or not okay. So we'll definitely pick his brain at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as a wolf, he has way more input on that than us. He could say if that was a worthy trade-off for wolf form, or if he thought it was kind of dumb. So we'll have to wait on his response.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know there's a lot of little things like that. So another thing is I wouldn't call it an update, but we've Mike and I have discussed at length things like the Berserk skill, and I think we've kind of come up with some ideas for that as well. So, but as far as wolves go, we haven't quite hit them just yet. So. But it is interesting. I think as a game designer and just kind of stepping back at it, I think it's okay that an NPC can pick something up. I think that's just normal kind of gameplay. Obviously the name of the character picking it up kind of changes, someone's view on it, so yeah, an ant picking up a thunderhammer is pretty ridiculous, but in order to code that to make it look more realistic, it takes like 3 to 4 times longer to make each character super different than the rest. So there's little reasons like that it's okay. So, and I guess the only other thought right now on werewolves picking items up is, when you shapeshift, you're kind of turning yourself into a monster or, a beast or an animal or whatever you want to call it. So, and by that logic, you should be able to pick stuff up just like an NPC. So, it's, we'll see. We'll test it out. We'll think of something.
And you ask Nyx.
Yeah, I mean, if 99% of the Wolf Guild was okay with it, then that shows a significant kind of opinion. So that's something that we'll consider. But we won't leave it to just say, oh well, how was it in the old game? Okay, let's just leave it like that, because we want to make the game more fun and a little more sensible. So things like that might give us something to change or fix. Yeah, I think animals, it could be probably simple to just say, hey, if you're an animal type, if Mike determines that the system will be based on monster type, which obviously it probably will be, then I can say, hey, why don't we just have a checkbox that says, animals can't pick shit up. But I don't know. I mean, if you're a bear, you can pick a lot of things up. So it's hard to draw a line.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the animals that you don't want to pick it up, obviously these small ones, that would just require so many different flags. It's probably not going to be worth it.
So
they probably just.
One thought here, as a programmer, just kind of thinking about it. What if mobs or NPCs had encumbrance that would look at the items encumbrance, and for like a porcupine, it would be basically really tiny, and so whenever it tried to pick something up, it would fail to do that for all but the lightest of things, and that would make a lot more sense. Just a thought.
That does make a lot more sense. I'll tell you that, but still, I don't know if it's worth the extra work. But yeah, that makes a heck of a lot more sense.
Because it's like items already have a weight in the system, and so you would think that as you add mobs, that you could just put in an encumbrance level that the mobs could hold, and for mobs that you don't want to be able to pick up anything, you just set it to 0, to not pick up anything.
That's true. Yeah, I think at the very least there could be a little checkbox that says, can it pick something up? Absolutely. I think that makes the most sense. Right, exactly.
Poor porcupines. No more thunderhammers for you.
Seriously. But see, the thing is like, that little porcupine could save your ass. You know, you could die and get dragged away, and you come back, and you know your weapon's missing, and then an invasion happens, and then you have to go to sleep, and then you have class the next day, and you come back, and you kill the porcupine. You know, he could save your ass and drop you Thunderhammer. So
That's true. And one other problem that we didn't mention with that is if creatures in the area didn't pick up stuff, you're going to have clutter everywhere because they wouldn't pick up the crap that no one wanted, and they're never going to poof with it.
right, yeah, it's definitely a very kind of ambiguous and complex issue. So I'll just leave it at that for now. Okay, looks like I'm all updated here. I will put the game on screen here in just a second.
Cool.
I don't know, did they come out with the latest expansion yet? I haven't paid attention.
I don't think so. I mean, I know that I saw the pre-order stuff like a week or two ago. You could pre-order 50 packs and get the card back, I think, but I haven't kept up with it ever since we started on the Echoes and now the Rises. I mean, I just I haven't wanted to. Next week, Assyrian says.
All right, you have achieved the rank of Murloc Raider.
I miss those Murlocs.
Okay, I don't play Hearthstone that much. I used to play it a bit, so don't judge me by my 3 bonus stars.
Oh, I'll be judging, all right.
Hey, I got 3 of them, okay? Not just 1 gold star, but 3.
That means teacher doesn't like you a lot.
Alright, I got Hunter Mage quest, 3 victory quests, and Rogue victory. Okay. That's a lot of victory stuff. Okay, turn down the volume a little bit. Let me know if it gets a little crazy for you. Any thoughts on training dummies? Yeah, Mike has actually started testing that already. Like I said before, he's doing kind of an umbrella approach to 3 or 4 systems at a time because ultimately a lot of systems interact with each other. So when the item creation went in, he also wanted to make sure the inventory system was working and things like enemy placement, if that makes sense, as far as on the interface. So we've been playing with player states and player sessions, and ultimately recreating a simple combat system so that we can just attack each other with the weapons that we make. So what Mike did is he made a couple of training dummies, and he was playing with himself for quite a bit last night. So I'm gonna go ahead and check out the Tavern Brawl, see what it is. I think it's the Raven Idol one. Okay, your deck will be 30 Raven Idols, so you'll be able to discover whatever you need. Okay. So I think that I'm just gonna have some fun with this. I'm gonna go with, I'm just gonna play Warrior. I think not the best class, but I'll just play for fun.
Yeah, that's it. Play for fun. The amount of times that Daleth fumbled in his logs are just crazy. I don't know if that was just because zombies are more prone or his stats, but it's like every other hit was like a fumble. And people would constantly be leaving him behind if they were out hunting together because he would have like a 10-second fumble timer.
That's terrible. Maybe what weapon would he use? He had a Thunderhammer, right?
He had the Thunderhammer, but primarily the one that was fumbling was the Earthquake-matic. That's the one that he used quite a bit too.
Oh, I remember that one.
Those are his two faves. After he lost the Thunderhammer like the third time, I think he decided just to put it in the bank and like, no, I'm not going to risk it anymore. But I told him, what's the point of that? Just go lose it. Who cares? You're having fun.
The light shall bring victory.
Victory or death!
Yeah, I do you remember what his stats were?
Oh, let me see. I'm sure they're in one of his logs. Let me look.
Yeah, you may can find it in the log, but I have no idea.
Greedy.
Oh, nice. I should go for a low minion, but I'm not going to play safe. I'm going to pick Varying Rune because that's an awesome card. Well, actually, no. I'm not going to do that. Because I only have Raven Idols, so that's stupid. I want to do... Yeah, I'll go to 2. So when Nyx was going off on stats and percentages, was there a way to look at yourself the way I don't recall being able to see that much detail into your own stats? Yeah, he was basically going off of what the staff members were using to basically create the core mechanics for each class. So a lot of that information was kind of leaked out, sort of, but it's kind of shared, to the community. And so a lot of discussion on the old forums were about those core stats, and he was going off of things like the offense, defense, magic, thiefly, miscellaneous kind of stuff. So the way Mythic did it is they gave points, a various amount of points in each area for each class or race, and that determined basically how you functioned in the game. Eric, I'm playing Hearthstone for the time being, while Mike does some critical updates to Darkness Rises. So, figured it'd be better than just seeing a blank screen, or I don't know.
I like the egos thing. Don't know it, don't like it.
What's not to like about Hearthstone? I know it's not heart-pumping action, but it's, as far as the card game goes and World of Warcraft fans, I mean, it's a pretty decent game. Right. Yeah.
Those were Dalis, so I mean, his stats are actually pretty good. I don't know why he kept fumbled liking that.
Huh. Very interesting. Right. Oh yeah. Nyx is a library, a walking library for sure.
He's practically the Library of Congress when it comes to Darkness Falls. That's Mike sending a message going, I done further. I'm burning it down.
Oh no, it looks like he's made an update, and I can probably get us going in Darkness Rises after this card theme. So, very good, very good.
Nice. Great going, Mike.